One girlfriend threatened to cheat just to make a point. Another blew up her marriage, then asked for a birthday favor. And one guy, he knows she's cheating, but he's not ready to say it yet. Welcome to StorySpin, the Am I the A-hole cheating compilation. 5 stories, 0 loyalty, and just enough petty revenge to keep things interesting. Let's spin into the first story. Am I the a-hole for not telling my girlfriend I'm bisexual? Okay, this is ridiculous. But she has explicitly asked me to ask the internet because she's convinced she's in the right. So my girlfriend, 24-year-old female, and I, 21-year-old male, were talking about school and our childhoods a few days ago. I originally lived in England, but she's always been a Scotland girl. So we were comparing. I was showing her pictures of me and my mates from when we were 16 or 17, and she noticed that me and one of my friends seemed a little close in some of the pictures. Even noticed that I was sitting in his lap in one of them. So she asked me, and I just flat out told her, that's my ex, because it didn't seem like a big deal to me. It still doesn't. She got a bit annoyed then, and asked me why I hadn't told her about this before. I assumed that this she was talking about was my ex, and I said that I hadn't really thought about him in a while because we were teenagers and I've moved away since then. She got more annoyed and said, not that. I mean that you like guys. I got kind of confused then because it's not something I hid from her. She's right. I've never explicitly told her that I'm bi, but I have pins of the flag on several bags. We thirst over male celebrities together. Hell, the night we met, I was flirting with her male friend at a pub. This was lighthearted, and before we were dating, obviously. So anyway, I apologized again for not telling her and asked what the big deal was. She's not homophobic by any means, and I didn't understand why she was getting so angry. I told her as much, and she stared at me blankly, appalled, as if I should know. She said she didn't like being lied to, which I didn't. She never asked, and it never came up. But okay, I get why she was upset at that. It could be seen as hurtful, and she's sensitive. We both are. So I understood and apologized. She then said that she couldn't believe I had ever been with a guy, and that it was weird. I asked her why it was weird, and said that I've seen pictures with her and her exes, and that I was okay with it. She said the ex thing didn't bother her, it's that my ex was a guy. This baffles me more because again, she's not homophobic. At least, I didn't think she was. She asked if I ever thought I was just gay and not bi, and I said no. I liked girls before I ever knew I liked guys. She said she didn't really believe in bisexuality and that it wasn't a good look for the community or something along those lines. I said, well, I am one, so here's the proof. The argument basically went round in circles at that point until we went to bed. We haven't really spoken properly since. Whenever I try, she interrupts me and tells me that she can't believe I was gay before her and lied about it. Again, not gay. I'm bi. I like girls. I like her. It's so frustrating to me because she won't even hear me out and just tells me she feels betrayed, that I lied to her, and she thinks I'm just dating her because I don't want to fully commit to being gay. She hasn't broken up with me yet, but I feel like she's going to if we keep arguing like this, and she won't let me get a word in. So am I the a-hole? Edit. Okay, nothing has happened with the situation because it's the middle of the night and I posted this a few hours ago, but this seems to have blown up a little bit, so I'm going to clarify and clear things up. First of all, those people who think I'm going to give my girlfriend an STD or are convinced I have AIDS or whatever, F off. Genuinely. I'm sorry, I don't like being mean to people, even over the internet. Far too many of you seem to have this thought. First of all, my girlfriend insisted we both take STI tests before we did anything because she got one from a previous partner and doesn't want that to happen again. Second, all of you convinced I slept around with men and contracted some deadly virus. I have never had traditional sex with a guy. The only guy I've ever been with was my first relationship with said ex mentioned in the post, and my only other relationship has been with the woman who took my virginity, which only lasted a month. So stop. Now to clarify some important things. Yes, I know I should have mentioned I was bisexual to her once we started dating, but truthfully, it didn't even occur to me to. I'm a little airheaded and thoughtless. I'm not very good at communicating with people in general, and can be quite thoughtless and annoying. Most of my friends back home are queer, and a lot of hers are too, from what they all said when I met them. I've also been told that you can tell I'm bisexual by a lot of people, including my own parents. So with all that, it completely didn't occur to me to tell her. I do know that isn't really an excuse and that I should have told her immediately in the pursuit of transparency. I am working on my communication skills and knowing when to be more mindful and mention things, even if they don't seem important to me. I wasn't trying to hide it, and I wasn't trying to make her guess by leaving little hints. I thought it was obvious, so I didn't mention it. Clearly it wasn't, and I need to be more mindful. I would never lie to her on purpose to be malicious. You don't do that to people you love. I've been with my girlfriend for almost 6 months. The reason this didn't come up in the beginning of our relationship is because it was quite a whirlwind. We met in December, and 4 days later she began a week-long stay at my flat. We moved quite fast. My girlfriend attends university close by and has a job, so we maybe get to see each other over the weekend or on a Friday night. That's about it. I like making the most of my time with her, so we don't talk about serious stuff all that much. To the people who think I'm going to cheat on her, or that she thinks I'm going to cheat on her, I hope I've made it clear that isn't something that would happen. I love and adore her so much that it physically hurts when I don't get to see her for over a week. I'm not interested in being with anyone else sexually because I'm not in love with anyone else. The majority of these comments are calling her homophobic or biphobic, and, well, I don't really know what to think about that right now. I need to talk to her properly. She's a very emotional person, something I absolutely adore about her. But it does mean when she's angry, she lashes out. I need to talk to her about it all, and I need to talk to her friends. I'm not throwing this away if she was just lashing out or being ignorant. She's not an unreasonable person. She only knows about my most recent ex because she was asking about a scar on my forehead, and I told her the story, which included her. Yes, she does love me and doesn't care about my sex drive or lack thereof. She's not manipulative or gaslighting me. She just lets me know when I've done things wrong, which I like, because no one else ever tells me when I've done things wrong. I'm bisexual. I'm not gay. She's not a beard. I like guys. I like girls. I love her. If I missed anything, it's because it's 3 a.m. and I'm tired. If you want further clarification, comment, and I'll try to answer. Now let's go through some of the comments. First comment. Bro, if she does not believe in bisexuality, then what the heck does she think you are? A unicorn? You were honest when she asked? You had nothing to hide? And now she is mad because she assumed things and did not ask beforehand? She sounds incredibly insecure and a little controlling. You might want to reevaluate this relationship, to be honest. You are not the a-hole. Second comment. You are not the a-hole, but you are doing yourself a disservice, staying with her. She is not going to drop it. She is not going to suddenly stop being biphobic. It sounds like you may just be better off cutting your losses and finding someone who is not a biphobic person. Third comment. She said to me she did not believe in bisexuality, said that it was not a good look for the community. Yeah, I would have broken up with her on the spot. This girl is ignorant as hell and likely biphobic. I am curious. How long have you two been dating? If you have been dating for, literally years, then the shock she had is a bit, and I mean a bit, more understandable, though it does not excuse her comments. You are not the a-hole. Reply from OP. We have been dating for almost 6 months, and we have not really spoken about things like that. We got together around Christmas time, and it was honestly one of the best things that has ever happened to me. She is so funny, and I like her so much, and I really do not want to throw away all of that if it is something I can fix by simply talking to her about it properly. That relationship's hanging by a thread, but the next one already snapped, and now she wants cake. Am I the a-hole for refusing to let my cheating ex-wife spend her birthday with me and our kids? I, 40s male, was married to Martha, 40s female, for over 16 years. We had 2 kids together during that time, who are now teenagers. Our marriage ended after I learned about Martha's 3-year emotional affair with a man she was talking to online. That was not the only reason the marriage fell apart, but it explained a lot of the problems we had been dealing with. Martha and this man never met in person, and that was something she brought up often, hoping I would try to work things out. Yes, they said a lot of things, and she had developed strong feelings for him, but they never saw each other face to face. That was the justification I kept hearing. But even without meeting or doing anything physical, it was already too much. She still cheated, and she treated me terribly. I could not do anything right. She complained that I was not working hard enough to provide for us, and if I passed up on overtime, she gave me hell for it. But then she also complained when I was working too many hours. She would criticize me when I wanted to go out for date nights and accuse me of taking time away from the kids or wasting money. Yet she also complained when we did not do anything together. Our anniversaries were the worst. For the last 2 years of our marriage, she got mad at me for buying her gifts she had specifically said she loved. She would say I was trying to show her up or make her feel guilty for not being as good of a wife as I was a husband. When I spent time with our kids, she accused me of trying to poison them against her or win them over to my side. At the time, I had no idea what she meant. I told her that, and she said kids always have a favorite parent, and I was trying to make sure I was theirs. One day, I asked her what she wanted from me because nothing I did was right anymore, and she told me I needed to learn when I was wanted, and when I was not. She said I was acting like a baby who just wanted attention when I tried to make date nights feel special. More than once, she called me lazy for refusing overtime when we already had something planned. Even on the kids' birthdays, and my own, she made it clear she did not like when I took the day off. On my birthday, the year before the divorce, our kids wanted me to take the day off so we could go to a festival that was only in town that one day. I agreed. Martha hated it. The truth came out when her sister confronted me about something Martha had said, and I confronted Martha. And she was literally messaging him when I got there. She confessed and showed me everything. I went through all the messages. She begged me to save our marriage and apologized for how she had treated me. Martha and this man were saying, "I love you" to each other every day. She was messaging him at night while I was asleep in the same bed. The two of them wrote emotionally intense and sexually graphic fantasies together. We divorced. Martha tried to fight it, but I told her I was done. Now, a year after the divorce, she still has not let go. Our kids know about her affair. She confessed to them. She apologized for how she treated me, and that opened their eyes to things they had never noticed before. As a result, they do not want a relationship with her. They are still legally required to see her 1 weekend a month. But they are not required to spend holidays or birthdays with her, theirs or hers. Martha's birthday was last weekend. The kids had already completed their monthly visit, so they did not see her. She asked me to agree to a family day with all 4 of us for her birthday. I refused. When she pushed again, I told her she should go find her soulmate, which is what she used to call the man she had the emotional affair with, and celebrate with him. I told her I had nothing to celebrate about her anymore. She broke down. Then, her sister came at me, accusing me of being cruel. She said it was bad enough that Martha lost me, and that I would not even try to forgive her, but that Martha did not deserve to lose the kids too, and I was being cruel to her as the mother of my children. I feel like I had a very good reason, but maybe I was cruel, and it was not justified. Am I the a-hole? The comments on this pretty much unanimously agreed OP was not the a-hole. Let's talk about loyalty. Or better yet, let's talk about the woman who wrecked 2 families and still sends Christmas cards. Am I the a-hole for reminding my dad's wife she betrayed my mom, her best friend, by sleeping with her husband? I, 17-year-old male, live in a toxic household, and I contribute to that. But I want to know if I'm the a-hole for this particular part of it. So, my parents were married and seemed happy, until everything fell apart. My mom found out she had a brain tumor, and on that same exact day, she also found out that my dad was sleeping with her best friend. I was 10 at the time. For the next 5 weeks, life was chaos. My dad and Haley, who was supposed to be my mom's best friend, tried everything to get her to forgive them. My mom started having seizures because of the tumor, and I think because of the stress. She died 5 weeks and 2 days after she was diagnosed. My dad and Haley moved in together right after Mom died. They decided they would try to raise me and my sister together. My sister was 8 then, and my dad has said she took her cues from me. But we didn't accept him and Haley. We acted out, a lot. I yelled at them, called them names, refused to listen when they told me to do something. I told everyone what they'd done. Dad's friends, Haley's friends, our neighbors. They all knew. Mostly because I made sure they knew. I interrupted their wedding more than once. My sister did too, but not as much. We begged to live somewhere else, but they wouldn't allow it. They forced us into therapy, but I didn't put any effort into fixing things. Dad and Haley had 2 kids together. I refused to help. I didn't care. I make a point of reminding them what they are and what I think of them. For my dad, that means cutting him out of photos and saying now and then that I'll change my last name to my mom's. She never took his name. And I talk about my maternal grandpa being the man I want to be most like. He's the best guy I know. But with Haley, I remind her every single time that she was supposed to be my mom's best friend, and instead, she became a backstabber who slept with my dad. I do this in front of other people, especially if she tries to act like my parent or take credit for my good behavior. She's told me to stop bringing it up more than once, but I ignore her. I tell her I won't ever stop. Last week, her aunt died. She told me I needed to help out around the house more while she was away visiting her mom and cousins. I refused. She said it's what the oldest sibling is supposed to do. I reminded her I wasn't her kid, and brought up the affair again. She broke down. I told her I didn't feel sorry for her. She said she already felt guilty enough, that she feels like my mom's ghost is haunting her, that I'm driving her crazy. She said she's had to isolate from people because I keep airing their dirty laundry. She said I'm bullying her, and I should be going after my dad instead. I told her I'm going after both, until I can cut them out of my life completely. Then I told her she doesn't deserve a happy life after what she did. My aunt, my dad's sister, came over after Haley called her. She asked me to stop bringing it up. She said Dad and Haley don't need forgiveness, but that constantly shaming Haley and making it hard for her to form relationships is going to hurt the kids she and Dad had together. First comment. Do you and your sister have another relative that you can live with? If so, I think it is time your dad lets you go. You experienced an enormous trauma and still have not healed. It really seems like you will not recover until you don't live with your dad and stepmom. Reply from another commenter. OP said that we wanted to live somewhere else and they refused. This is a nasty situation because the adults are refusing to accept the consequences of their actions. They tore a family apart and ruined these kids' last few weeks with their mother. Now they want the children that were betrayed in this situation to forgive and forget, and are unwilling to listen and adapt to what the kids want and need. The skeptic in me wonders why they are so adamant that OP and his sister don't move out when this dynamic is making everyone miserable. Are there survivorship benefits that these children's guardians receive, which are funding the new affair family's lifestyle? Is that why they won't allow the kids to move in with other family that they feel safe with? Another commenter replied, in the US, children who lost a parent receive SSI benefits which are paid to the other parent or guardian. Some people cheat and disappear, others die, and still leave wreckage behind. Am I the a-hole for not sharing life insurance money with my deceased husband's mother? Hi everyone. This is really hard for me to talk about and go down memory lane, but here goes. I, 37-year-old female, received life insurance money after my husband lost his battle with mental health. It was a substantial amount of money. Backstory. Before his death, we had a discussion about what we wanted to happen after our deaths. In hindsight, that should have been a red flag. But if you were in the military, you know these kinds of conversations are not unusual. We had signed powers of attorney for each other before we deployed. We also had to update, every year, who we wanted our life insurance policy to go to. I am still trying to make peace with everything, but I have been struggling more than usual lately. I came home after work one day and found our bedroom door locked, with our dogs inside crying. I kept knocking, but he would not answer. I broke down the door and went in, and saw what I can never unsee. I still see it in my dreams most nights. He had always seemed like the same happy person I met 13 years earlier, so I never saw any signs. Everything after that was a blur. Thankfully, I had some solid people around to help me. I lost 20 pounds in about a month from not eating. I would not shower. I do not remember much from that time, except that everything hurt, and I had thoughts of not wanting to be here anymore. I just kind of checked out. So, when we had talked about what we would want after we died, he asked if I could help take care of his family if he went first. I said absolutely. I loved them, and they had made me feel like family, especially his mom. She was like the mother I never had. So you can imagine the pain she caused me when she went around telling everyone that I was responsible for his death. I was harassed by his family over what had happened. I finally snapped and yelled, "Do you want to know what happened that day?" Well, so do I. I know I should not have, but I went into graphic detail just to shut them up. I never got any answers, and they were making everything worse, especially my mother-in-law. Law enforcement did not make it easy either. I was pulled in for questioning twice, and I cooperated both times. But it did not help that I had to keep giving the same graphic account over and over again. I know they were doing their jobs, but it was traumatizing. After my mother-in-law ran a smear campaign against me, she asked if I received any life insurance money. I did not answer her. All she ever did was use my husband like an ATM while he was alive, something I started to notice a month before he passed. I later found out he had been giving her money all the time without telling me. We had a joint account we used for bills and household expenses, but whatever was left over from each of our paychecks we spent however we wanted. My father-in-law and mother-in-law are divorced. She cheated on him and remarried just 2 months after the divorce was finalized. I did give my father-in-law some money because he was the only one who stood by my side and tried to protect me from her and the rest of the family. He did not even know I had received any money until after I gave him a substantial amount. He tried to return it, but I refused. I get it. She is a grieving mother, looking for someone to blame, but she caused me so much pain that I do not want to help her at all. Honestly, I do not know how I would act in her shoes, but I would like to think I would not do what she did. She was not the one who had to plan the funeral, settle the debts, or live in the same house surrounded by all his things. I did not throw away his toothbrush. I did not sleep in our bedroom for almost a year. I blocked her a long time ago. But should I reach out now to give her a share of the money and then cut ties again? Or should I just keep her blocked? I'm scared to reopen that wound, but I also want to know if I am doing the right thing. So, am I the a-hole? Edit. Thank you all for responding. Your comments helped me more than I expected. I am in tears. I did not know so many strangers could care. I was beginning to think I was being selfish. I used some of the money to pay off our house and our vehicles. I also gave some money to his dad. What is left is still sitting in my bank account. Some of you suggested donating it, and I think that is a great idea. I still keep in touch with my father-in-law. He has never asked for anything else, just for me to visit once in a while. Second edit. I forgot the cherry on top with my mother-in-law. She tried to take my dogs, but the coworker who was watching them told her to get bent. They are happy, healthy, and I spend a lot of my time outside with them. They have helped me through more than words can say. You've seen cheating, you've seen revenge. Now let's meet the man who's biding his time and letting the lies pile up. Am I the a-hole for pretending not to know my fiancé is cheating, just until it's convenient to leave? Guys, I need help and advice. I am finishing my last 6 months or so in medical school, at which point I will be moving on to my residency in my specialty. I have been with my fiancée, Amy, since high school. I am 31 years old and she is 29. She has been my rock and supported me a ton through all of my schooling. I did work for a few years before deciding to go back for my medical degree. Here is where this gets messy. Earlier today, I ran home during a gap in my day because I forgot my laptop charger. I knew Amy was home because her car was in the driveway. I headed inside and heard her in the bedroom, with the unmistakable sounds of something intimate happening. I snuck around the corner enough to see her with a guy I had never seen before. She was sleeping with another man in my bed, in our bedroom. My stomach dropped, and I left before they saw me. I had no idea what to do. Now to be clear, I am done. My question is not, should I break up with Amy? Yes, absolutely. But here is where I am stuck. I cannot afford to lose her help supporting me or our shared housing. My name is the one on the lease, but I cannot afford the rent by myself. So do I break up with her immediately and risk being unable to support myself through the last 6 months of school? Or do I pretend I did not see anything and use this time to finish school and prepare my exit? Right now, I am crashing with a buddy from school for the night. She thinks I am just doing a cram session and has no idea that I came home or saw what I saw. Does it make me the a-hole if I use these last 6 months as compensation for what she did? Am I the a-hole? Let's get into some of the comments. Top commenter: dude, for the next 6 months, you are going to be kissing this woman. And maybe she had someone else's junk in her mouth an hour earlier. Are you sure you want to do that? OP. You raise a very valid point. Another reply: get tested for sexually transmitted diseases. Now. Final commenter: this. A friend of mine had a similar situation. His wife got herpes and tried to blame it on him. But when he got tested and came back negative, she had to confess she had been cheating. She even tried to spin it like he was the cheater. It was a complete mess. So, we've got cheating girlfriends, ex-wives with birthday plans, and stepmoms who treat friendship vows like speed bumps. Honestly, the bar isn't low, it's buried. But if you made it this far, maybe you're just here to feel better about your own relationship. Sub if you like watching people implode gracefully. There's always another train wreck just a click away.